This is the inside of the Elddis Majestic 120. If I firstly move to the main control panel just here, I can turn the 12 volt on. You can see that all of the lights have now come on. These can all be individually turned on and off on their own switches, or you do have the main isolator for them all on the actual control panel as well, beneath the 12 volt button. We have water pump on and off just here. Whenever the pump is running, the green light will illuminate to let you know. And then we have awning light on and off just here. Just here we have condition of leisure battery, and beside it we have how much water is in the fresh tank. Here we have entrance light on and off. Beneath the main control panel we then have the whale control panel for the heating and hot water. You'll see we have water heater above and heating underneath. And as I begin to press the button, you will see it goes over a series of icons until it eventually ends up back at off. So if we start with the first icon just here, a little picture of a snowflake. This is the boiler's frost protection mode. So if you've got water in the boiler but you don't necessarily want to be heating it up, you can pop it onto this and it will just maintain a very low temperature in the boiler to avoid any frost damage. We then have a single wavy line. Wavy lines represent mains electricity, and I always round it up just to make it easier, so I class this as about 1 kilowatt. We then have two wavy lines, so about 2 kilowatts. So these two settings just depending on the amperage of the site you're on to try and avoid you tripping. If you have no main supply, you can run on gas with a little picture of the flame. These auto ignite themselves. And if you have both power sources available to you, you can run in dual fuel, so a mixture of gas and mains at 1 kilowatt or a mixture of gas and mains at 2 kilowatts. This setting here is extremely handy if you want hot water extremely quickly, or if there's going to be more than one of you having a shower in quick succession of each other. You'll see whenever you are consuming gas, you get a little picture of a flame just here. If we now move to the heating, this works very similar. So first icon, wavy line, so again, mains electricity, but this time it's about 500 watts. We then have two wavy lines, so about 1 kilowatt, and then three wavy lines, about 2 kilowatts. So again, just dependent on the amperage of the site you're on. Again, we then have gas on its own if you don't have main supply, and then we have dual fuel just here. We can control the temperature on the plus and the minus. Where the little picture of the moon is what WoW recommends as like a night mode. So if you need the heating on whilst you're asleep, it's a low heat, but secondly, the fan is extremely quiet. And again, whenever you are consuming gas, you will get a little picture of a flame appear. If there's a problem with either the water heater or the heating, you will get a red exclamation mark appear. So if it's for the water heater, just underneath where this flame is. And if it's for the heating, just where my finger is here. Once a red exclamation mark's appeared, if it's for the water heater, just hold the button down just here and you'll get a series of red lights, and then within the manual it will let you know what the problem is, and if it's for the heating you just do exactly the same again. If it's something relatively easy, like it's telling you don't have main supply or it doesn't have gas because you've run out or forgot to turn it on, etc. Once you think you've rectified the problem, you will need to reset the control panel, and if it's a water heater issue, just hold the water heater button in and then press the plus together, and then if it's a heating issue, hold the heating in and press the plus together. If we now move along, we will come to the microwave. As it says on the sticker just here, just make sure that you remove the contents for travel. This will work when you're hooked up to the main supply. We have quick start just here, stop, power settings, etc., wait, defrost, all the normal bits and bobs that you find on most modern microwaves. The microwave is plugged in just up here. hob just here. So like the microwave, we have the hot plate that will work on main supply, operates just here, and the red light will come on to let you know it's in operation. The gas rings light just by pushing in, twisting and pressing the igniter just down here. Beneath that we then have the oven and the grill, and for this push in to the left for the oven, and to the right for the grill. Beneath it you have the cutlery drawer and storage. Also in here you will see that we have the gas isolation taps for the motorhome. So we have cooker, hob, fridge and hot water just here. They are all in the on position. Quite frankly, all the gas isolation taps can stay in the on position. I would say if you do smell gas, just go to the source and turn the gas bottle off. Also tucked right at the back here is the boiler itself, and you'll see the boiler drain lever just here to drain the boiler down for winterization. All we need to do is make sure the water pump is turned off and then flick this lever across like so. This will then drain all the water out of the boiler. I always suggest that if you are fully draining down for winter, make sure that you open up all the taps in the motorhome as well, because this will aid in releasing airlocks so the system drains off better. When you come to fill the system back up again, make sure we're back like we are now. Close all the taps in the motorhome, fill up the fresh water tank, turn the water pump on, and it will then begin to prime the system back up again. You will then need to start beginning to open up your taps. As you start with the hot, wait until they run freely, turn to the cold. Once they're running freely as well, close them back down again, and then the system will fully reprime itself. We have the Dometic Fridge just here, currently in the off position. If I want to run it on mains, just turn it to the little picture of the 2-pin plug just here. After that we then have a picture of a battery which is 12 volt maintain, which is used when we're on the move to keep the fridge cold. It will only work when the engine is running. And then lastly we have gas. If we're going to light the fridge on gas, we need to come across to the actual temperature control, hold it in and push the igniter, and then what we're wanting is for this line here to drift out of the white into the green to indicate it has lit. If I now let go, as long as it stays in the green, you know we're lit. If it drops back off into the white, just try again. Sometimes it takes a couple of times if there's air in the system. We have the removable freezer box just here. There are clips just either side of each other, just here and here to remove if required. Smoke alarm, carbon monoxide alarm just here. Just check every now and then just by pushing the buttons that they are operating. And we have the freestanding table just here. Washroom. So we have the basin, shower and toilet. To open to the cassette, just slide the lever across and then push the flush on the top and then close back up again. If this has been left open, and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. So if you do feel resistance, just make sure that nobody's left it open. Level indicator for the cassette just here. It will illuminate to let you know when the cassette needs emptying. Omnivent fan just here. So to operate, first wind the roof vent open just here. Middle button turns the unit on. And then we have arrows out for extraction and arrows in for cooling. Variable fan speed just by pressing. Do make sure that all roof vents are down for travel. Wardrobe. So in here you will see that we have the television aerial just here. So we have the digital amplifier for it just here, on and off just on the side, and control the boost just by twisting here. To raise the television aerial, loosen the collar and then push up and then twist it into the position that you require and then lock it into position, and then literally pop your TV on the TV bracket just here and plug it in just here. The aerial is currently in the horizontal position like this. We can flip it to the vertical just by turning the tail just here. If you do require additional tuning, do make sure that the aerial is down for travel. Also in here we have the solar panel regulator. We do not need to do anything with this, it will just smart charge the leisure battery as it's required. You'll see it's flashing at the moment, indicating that it is charging the leisure battery. When the leisure battery does not really require charging, you will get a solid green light letting you know the panel is in float mode. Consumer unit just here. So we have the individual MCBs just here, and then we have the main RCD and test button just here. So if something's not working on main supply, this is your first port of call. We then have the 12 volt fuses just there, and again they're all labelled up. And then beneath that we then have the fresh and waste tank heater switch. So at the moment the switch is completely off, so the tank heaters will never function. If I now flick it down, that's tank heaters on, but they won't come on at the moment because it's too warm outside. It needs to be about 3 or 4 degrees outside, and there has to be water actually in the tanks for them to come on. Above that we have pull up table. To drop it again, just push on both of these parts at the same time and it will then drop down. If I now just remove the cushions from this bench seat and I now lift up, we have the water tank just there. We can gain access to it just by unscrewing the cap just here if we want to clean it out. We also have in here the water pump just here and the surge dampener. You'll also see just here the gas isolation tap for the heating. If we now move across to the other bench seat and again remove the cushions, and again we now lift up, you'll see we have storage. We also have the back of the battery box just here. We have the main 12 volt fuse just there, also the fuse for the solar panel. We also have the air intake there for the heating as well. With this layout van, you can either have 2 single beds, and all you really need to do, I personally just flip these cushions over and then remove just the back cushions, giving you good sized single beds. Or we can have a double bed just by pulling this section out here and then dropping in the 2 backrests, just like so, and you'll see that they're a lot flatter when they're flipped over on the reverse. You will now see I've lifted up the corner cushions. Reason being is with this model that you can have a full U-shaped lounge by removing the chest of drawers at the back. You'll see that you have a clip here, and then it's just a matter of lifting it up and off. You can now see that I've removed the chest of drawers, so I can now drop the cushions back into position. And then pop in the extra part. You'll see for this that you do need to pull this section out a little way, drop this down, push it back into the correct position, and then just pop your backrest on. You can alternatively, in this particular configuration, have a much larger bed as well. So again, if I now just remove these cushions, and then by adding in the grey infill just there, you then have a much larger double bed. PIR sensor for the alarm just here. Just press it every now and then just to make sure it's working. Reason being is that it is wireless, so it does require a couple of batteries